Are we on?
Yeah.
Alright, so we just got done watching Sailor Moon, Season 1, Episode 42. Sailor Venus past, Minako's tragic love. Minako is Sailor Venus, Sailor V, the last and oldest sailor that's been introduced in the series thus far.
Yeah.
And, we've been given, episodes, some more than others. Ami's definitely been left out. Sailor Mercury has had, a bit of her fair share.
Ami's had
like three or so episodes, but
she had a love interest.
Sailor Venus and Sailor Mercury, I think, have had the fewest amount of episodes, and Sailor Mars had some early on and has been left out. I don't think Sailor Mars was in this episode at all.
I don't. Yeah, no,
I didn't see her at all.
Not very. I mean, I'm sure she was there with the sailors, but I don't think.
We sort of established early on in this episode, They're Ami's like hacking into a computer with Venus and Usagi.
And Sailor Moon's Usagi's not doing anything. What a surprise! Crybaby, she's complaining, non-stop complaining.
Yeah, and it was they basically they're out looking for bad guys as they do, right?
Bad people.
And we flash to the Dark Kingdom, and you have Kunzite and Queen Beryl, talking to the entity, and they basically say, "Oh, we found this girl named Katarina, and Katarina has a lot of potential because Katarina knows the true identity of Sailor Venus, and there's a sort of connection there." And in this episode, it's established a little bit more of Sailor Venus's character, or Minako's character, in that she has some kind of romance or something that she's been through that has left her cold and embittered, but not so much so that it's bad, just more like
and her being older
and a distanced, but in a mature way.
She has the life experience,
right?
Of being older, and there was always something there, which is that romance, and
it was saying that. So there's this character Katarina. She's a policewoman.
And
she worked with. So Sailor V was someone established earlier in the show and was kind of dropped off as a plot point. But Sailor V is Sailor Venus, who is now one of the Sailor Senshi or whatever.
We just didn't know much about her. I don't know if she
exactly.
She was always there.
So we saw some flashbacks with her working with this Katarina policewoman and them getting along very well. And she was in London because she heard that there was a lot of Yuma there or whatever, the Dark Kingdom Warriors. I think she calls them something along those lines in this episode. What I thought was interesting is that Katarina knew Sailor V's true identity as Minako, or is that right?
Minako, yeah.
Minako, yeah.
I was a little. She knew her true identity just outright off the bat.
Because she told her. No, because she told her about it because they were friends and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's the first sort of person being known. But then she's police, so there's kind of a logic there, kind of a Batman-esque thing.
Batman-esque thing, but Sailor V didn't want to get her in trouble, though. She had her friends back.
Mm-hmm.
She said
no.
But,
so the Dark Kingdom takes advantage of Katarina, and obviously, or perhaps she was always an agent. It was unclear. This episode, I will say, the plot was very vague and unclear, and it kind of bounced around a bit too much. Because it was about backstory.
Yeah, it was backstory.
But still using the same formula that the last 10 or so episodes have been using.
Yeah.
I thought this was this was a weak episode, but it was good to get a little bit more out of Sailor V because what I saw her as was an older, Usagi, right? And this made her seem much more like a much more collected version of Usagi. Still the same kind of hopeless romantic, but also optimistic person.
Yeah.
And less so. Though a crybaby, so to speak, more of a, of a lamenter or something.
I just got the evil battle. That's all I got here.
The evil battle?
I liked the evil battle. That's what I wrote. Evil battle.
Evil battle.
I wrote evil battle. Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that was
the fight was good. The butterfly magic thing with Katarina turning into the second cleavage-laden butterfly kind of thing.
I think the second fight, the crazy when she was.
Will they go to a? Okay, so yes, we forgot to say the Sailor Moon, or whatever, Usagi at the time, turns into an actual sailor.
Oh, yeah.
Because they want to get onto a boat. I found that to be quite nonsensical.
She said, she said, I can't
fight this because she's really strong.
Yeah.
The butterfly magic, Katarina, Yuma thing.
Well, and she was just like, no, I can't sail a boat. And then Luna's like, go back and turn into a sailor. Oh yeah, I'm Sailor Moon. I thought, I couldn't tell if that was self-aware of the show
or a translation thing, maybe.
Yeah, or a translation thing. It could be, watching the sub.
But this was definitely one of the weaker episodes we've seen, I would say, for sure.
I like
the literal sailor is very funny. It is very funny.
The imagery of England, and I liked it.
Yeah, I like that too. I thought that little flashback was cool. Yeah. When I do like when something's sort of some semi-fantastical, grounded in the real world.
Yeah.
And set in a specific nation, perhaps, kind of spreads its wings a little bit.
And it's a lot just
kind of nice.
The artwork.
Yeah.
So a lot different because
when I wrote here, it's not just about aesthetic, but it does have a great aesthetic.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this episode in particular. So, there's this thing where we didn't talk about this, but she's a love triangle essentially. She meets this guy named Alan, which is established before we hear about Katarina.
In England.
In England, they kind of bump into each other, get along really well.
He's got no accent.
And then basically there's this fire that goes on, and they think that Sailor Venus is dead in the fire.
They hold each other tight.
And they hold each other tight and kind of go, oh no, and she sees
it's a romantic kind
that
of
they are really in love when she was in love with her. And that's established at the end of the episode. She was in love with Katarina.
Yeah.
And, and she seems to still, because she encourages Usagi not to just blow her away, but to save her. And this is sort of
very emotional episode.
First properly established the maturity of an unconditional love, where she's like, as long as these guys are happy, I feel good. I'm not necessarily happy. She's sacrificing her own happiness.
That was the
for
message
the greater good
they
of others,
drive home.
especially as being the ultimate hero. I wrote, you know what I mean? It's sort of giving away her happiness to be a hero, and I think that's establishes Sailor Venus as being much more of a sort of comic book tradition type of hero than perhaps the rest of the sailors. I mean, and that I found very interesting.
They mentioned her being the most mature. And that's why it was a heartwarming episode. It drives that home at the end.
Yeah,
being happy for your friends, and.
I think that's it. I think that's all we got to say about this.
Yeah, I liked. I saw this crazy the flashback and the fight.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff. Big booms driving. I was entertained by the visuals a lot.
Yeah.
In this episode specifically.
Yeah, I did think so too. I found this to be a particularly colorful episode, and that it was very high quality animation.
Yeah, and even those kind of dramatic. The action was there. There was very action packed for being a dramatic episode.